Hello and welcome back to Know How Academy. This is Coach Junaid. Today's video is going to be very special as we are going to discuss how to crack a Python data visualization job interview. We all know that Python data visualization is a hot job nowadays. There are a lot of vacancies related to the Python data visualization jobs. So in this video, we are going to discuss how you can crack a Python data visualization job interview, and this is going to be a complete guide as we are going to discuss everything that you need to know how to crack the Python data visualization job interview. And we are going to discuss following things in this video. First thing, things that you need to prepare for the interview. So what you need to have before you go for the interview, and what things you need to prepare before you go for the interview. So we are going to discuss exact what are those things and how to take the help of a job description to crack an interview. So we are going to discuss a sample job description for the Python data visualization job, and we are going to analyze that job description, and based on that we are going to learn how to prepare for the job interview. And we are also going to discuss how to find out what technical and behavioral questions you will be asked in the interview, and that is going to be based on again the job description, because the entire interview stick around the job description. And we are going to discuss a sample job description for the Python data visualization job, and we will discuss everything about that. And we will also discuss how to answer to impress the interviewer. So let's begin with this thing, the things that you need to prepare for the interview. So what exactly you need to have? So of course the very first thing, you know that you need to have a resume, because without resume you cannot even apply for the job. But please make sure that your resume align with the JD, that means the job description. So the keywords which are there in the job description must be there in your resume, then only it is going to be an ATS friendly resume. Same thing with the cover letter. Of course you don't just need to send a resume, you need to attach a compelling cover letter along with your resume, then only it's going to be a complete job application. And again remember, the cover letter has to be aligned with the job description again. So what are the responsibilities they are looking for, what are the skills and qualifications they are looking for, you need to mention that in the cover letter. The third thing, this is also very important, you need to have a good LinkedIn profile, a professional LinkedIn profile. And a professional LinkedIn profile looks like when it is aligned with your resume, because a professional LinkedIn profile is almost like your digital resume. So whatever information you put in your resume, the same information must be there in your LinkedIn profile as well. So every time when you are going to apply for a different job, you need to customize your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile with the job description. So it must be aligned with the job description. Again, I'm telling you, your documents, whatever you are going to say in the interview, whatever questions you are going to face in the interview, everything will be based on the job description. And yes, once you are in the interview, of course your interview is going to be started with these questions: can you introduce yourself, or can you tell me something about yourself? So we are going to discuss how or what is the best way you can introduce yourself in the interview. And of course what you need to do in the technical round, what kind of technical or direct questions you will be asked and how you need to answer them. We are going to discuss everything. And also, because after introduction, after your technical round, the next round will be the HR round, and they are going to ask you the behavioral questions. So we are also going to discuss what kind of behavioral questions you might face in the interview and how to answer them smartly. And this is something really important, because most of the candidates, they miss on this thing, because when interviewer asks them, do you have any question for us, 90% candidates say they don't have any question for them. And I think that is the worst response you can give to the interviewers while they ask you to ask them questions. So we are going to discuss what questions you should be asking there and how to ask the questions. And overall, this is going to be a strategy. So we are going to discuss how you can ask a good questions, and then what you need to do so that you can impress the interviewer. So these are the things that you need to prepare before you go for your interview: a resume, a cover letter, a LinkedIn profile. You need to be prepared with a good or very good introduction. Then you need to be prepared with the technical questions and their answers, behavioral questions and their answers, and what questions you are going to ask. You need to have all these stuffs with you before you go for the Python data visualization interview. So now let's discuss why a job description is crucial for the interview. So the first thing, job description explains the role and the responsibilities. So what will be the role that you need to play there, and what are the responsibilities and the task and the job that you need to do, that is mentioned in a job description. So with the help of job description, you can understand the job requirements. So what are the job requirements and what skills company is looking for in a candidate? So because they mention the skills, the qualifications and the responsibilities and the role in their job description, so you can identify, you can understand that what skills or qualifications they are looking for in a candidate, so you can prepare yourself accordingly. And a job description helps you to prepare everything. You can prepare your introduction based on the job description. You can prepare your technical questions and their answers based on the job description. You can also prepare your behavioral questions and their answers based on the job description. So your entire interview can be prepared with the help of the job description. And that is what we are going to discuss in this video. So let's discuss a sample job description, an exemplary job description, as I told you in the beginning. So for the Python developer or for the Python developer data visualization expert. So here is the first requirement or the job responsibility that you will need to perform if you are going to be hired for that job. So first thing, you need to collect and analyze data from various sources to derive meaningful insights. That is going to be the first responsibility or task that you will have to perform. The second thing, you will have to clean and process the data for visualization purposes. You need to design and create visually appealing and effective dashboards using Python libraries such as Matplotlib, Seaborn and Plotly. So using these libraries or using these Python libraries, you will have to create visually appealing and effective dashboards. You need to develop interactive dashboards that enable stakeholders to easily interpret complex data sets. So while your dashboards has to be technical, while your dashboard has to be effective and visually appealing, but then at the same time they need to be, or your dashboards need to be easily interpreted, so that can be easily understood by the stakeholders, because all the stakeholders are not technical people. Most of the time they will be non-technical people. So how easily they are going to understand it, that's what you have to perform in this particular role. And yes, you need to demonstrate strong analytical and problem solving abilities to identify and address challenges efficiently. So of course, being a data engineer or data scientist, because you are working on data analysis, so you need to have strong analytical skills and also problem solving abilities, because you are going to face a lot of problems with the complex data sets while you will be doing the data visualization. While you'll be working on the data, you are going to face a lot of problems. So what kind of problem solving skills you will have to demonstrate there? And of course, you need to clearly communicate complex technical concepts and ideas to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. So of course, this is not only a job where you have to work on the data or visualize the data or creating the dashboards, but you also need to have an effective communication skills so that you can explain the technical concepts to the technical as well as the non-technical people. I think this is the basic requirements if you are going to apply for the data analyst job for the data visualization using Python. And yes, you should be able to work independently. So you will have to work independently, individually, while you will be working or while you will be doing this job. So this is a sample job description. So mostly when you will apply for the jobs, you will see the other job description for the same role for the Python data visualization expert. You will see that it is going to be the similar. So now we will learn how to prepare based on this particular job description. So you need to remember these key points from the job description. Based on that, we will learn how to prepare for this interview. So first thing, of course, you need to introduce yourself, and the question might be, can you introduce yourself or can you tell me about yourself? So what you need to do is you need to introduce yourself based on the job description. Now again, as I told you, your resume has to be aligned with the job description, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile. Same way, your introduction has to be aligned with the job description. Why? Because job description is the requirement coming from the employed side, coming from the recruiters. That is what their requirements are. So you need to talk about those requirements because that's what they want to hear from you. Don't say anything from your side. Just stick to the job description and use all those keywords which are there in the job description while you introduce yourself. But when you are going to introduce yourself, when you are going to prepare your introduction, you need to answer these 5 questions, okay? And that has to be in the sequence only. So first thing, you need to tell them who you are as a professional. So as a data scientist, as a data analyst, as a data engineer or data visualization expert using the Python, so you have to talk about that who you are as a professional, what is your experience, what are your skills and everything. Next thing, you need to talk about why are you applying for this job. Now this is very important because most of the people, they are applying for this job because these are the hot jobs nowadays and everyone wants to be the Python developer or the data visualization expert. But do you have any special reason for that? Do you have any passion for that? Do you have any love for that? So you have to show your love, your passion for this job, how you are different from other applicants and other candidates. So why you are applying for this job, you need to answer that. The third thing, you have to talk about your core skills. So what it takes to be a successful Python data visualization expert. So you have to talk about all those core skills. Now this can be technical skills as well as the soft skills. The fourth thing that you need to talk about, what are your achievements, because you are going to say this is who you are as a professional, this is why you're applying for this job, these are your core skills. So they want to know what have you achieved with all these things. So what have you achieved in your current role, in your past role, in your college time or while you were studying. So overall, what are your achievements in this particular job, in this particular field? So you need to talk about your achievements. And lastly, you have to tell them that what you are going to contribute to the company. So these 5 questions are crucial. So while you introduce yourself, please answer these 5 questions and prepare your introduction while answering these 5 questions. And trust me, you are going to have a perfect and an amazing introduction and you are going to impress the interviewer. So after the introduction, because once you will introduce yourself, then they are going to ask you the technical questions, and the technical questions again will be based on the job description. They are not going to ask you anything from their side. They might ask you a couple of questions, but 80 to 90% questions will be coming from the job description only, because they have already shared their requirements. So they want to see whether do you fit this job description or not. So first question might be, what's your proficiency in Python for data analysis and data visualization? This is the basic questions they are going to ask you. So you need to talk about your proficiency. Now please remember one thing here, you have to share your experience, you have to share the things that you have done in the past. So don't tell them that what you are going to do if you are going to be hired for this job, but tell them that how you have done the data analysis and the visualization in the past. If you are a fresher, maybe you can talk about the projects that you have done or maybe the internship that you have done. If you are an experienced person, then talk about your current role and the previous experience, that how you have done this data analysis and the visualization. So you have to talk about your applied knowledge, because this is called that you have already applied your knowledge in the past, and this is what the outcome for this knowledge. So you have to share your applied knowledge from the past. Second question might be asked to you, what's your approach for cleaning and processing the data to ensure its accuracy and the reliability, because this was there in the job description. So of course you are going to be asked a question on this thing. So now you have to talk about your approaches which you have already applied in the past. Okay, don't tell them that you are going to apply so and so approaches, but always answer in the past tense that how you have done these things, how, what kind of approaches you had applied in the past or recently. So talk about them. Always give the examples from your experience, from your practical life. The third question you might be asked is, what are Matplotlib, Seaborn and Plotly and their use in data visualizations? Why you will be asked a question based on this particular keywords? Because these were there in the job description. So before you go for the interview, you must be prepared about these three things: Matplotlib, Seaborn and Plotly, and what is the use of there and how you have used them in the past. Again, I'm telling you, you have to tell them that you have used them in the past, and while you use them, that was the outcome of these things, and that is how you have used them. So always talk about your past experience. The fourth question you might be asked is like, can you share an example of a dashboard you have developed which was easy to understand for the stakeholders? So again, here you have to talk about your dashboards or your past project that you have done where you have created an interactive dashboard and how it was easy for the stakeholders to understand. So share that story. Okay, what was this project all about? What was the dashboard all about? And how did you prepare that, and how well it was, how easy was it for the stakeholders to understand? So tell the story. Okay, how the stakeholders have liked that dashboard and how they were able to understand that the insights of the dashboards about the data. So these can be the technical questions based on the job description. So please remember one thing, please understand one thing, that each and every statement of the job description is a potential question for you. So you have to prepare each and every statement of the job description, and you can find out a couple of questions from each statement, that this is what they might ask you based on the key responsibilities that you have to do there. So after technical questions, let's discuss about the HR round, the behavioral questions. So first of all, let's understand that why they ask you behavioral questions, why technical questions are not enough in the interview, why they asked the behavioral questions or the HR round. Because they want to assess the candidate's soft skills and their behavior, such as their interpersonal skills, their problem solving skills and team player ability. It can be your conflict management, it can be your ability to work under the pressure. So they want to see how you are going to behave in different situations. So now let's see what kind of behavioral questions you might face based on the job description. Again, I am not sharing any questions from my side. This is completely based on this job description. So based on the job description, you might face these three questions. First thing, how do you communicate the complex technical concepts and ideas to non-technical stakeholders? So now they are trying to assess your communication skills, like how easily you communicate and how well you can make the non-technical stakeholders and people understand about the complex technical concept. So you have to show your communication skills. So again, here you can share a story from your recent experience, from a recent project, that where you have communicated the complex technical concepts to the non-technical people and how you were able to make them understand that, how easily they were able to understand it. The second question you might face in the interview, what kind of problems do you encounter while working on complex data sets and how do you overcome it? So by asking this question, they want to assess your problem solving abilities, your problem solving skills. So you have to again talk about the problems that you have faced in the past, you have faced recently, and what did you do to overcome and solve those problems. So again, you have to share a story. So please understand, for every question that they are going to ask you in the interview, the best way and impressive way is to tell them a story, is to tell them about your applied knowledge. And third question might be, how good you are as a team player. Now please, I want you to understand here one thing. If you remember, in the job description they mentioned that you should be able to work independently, but now the question that they are asking you is how good you are as a team player. Now this is a trap question, because the requirement is that you need to work as an independent player, but the question is about the team player abilities. So of course you can start saying that yes, you are a good team player, you can work with the cross functional teams, you can work with any person, and you can easily coordinate with them, you can easily communicate with them, and you can easily build relationship with the other team members. But then you have to emphasize more on this particular thing, that apart from being a good team player, you are a great independent player. You love to work as an independent player, you can work as an individual, you can work as an independent player, and you have no problem working as an individually. So you need to tell them that you have no problem working as an independent player, and you like to work as an individual player, because most of the time while you are working on your data, while you are creating the dashboards, and while you are working on your projects, mostly you will be working as an individual. So you need to tell them that yes, you are a great independent player, you don't need any instructions from the management or from the seniors to do your job, because you know what your job is. You are a self-driven person, and you can drive yourself, and you can work as a independent player. So these are the behavioral questions you might be asked based on this particular job description. So this is the way how you need to find out the technical questions, the behavioral questions, how you need to introduce yourself based on the job description. Now we are going to discuss the last part of the interview. Do you have any questions? So asking intelligent questions. So you need to ask intelligent questions. So first thing, what is the importance of asking intelligent questions to the interviewer? It demonstrates your interest, because when you say you have no questions, that means you are not interested in the job or in the company, or you have not done any research about the job and the company. So of course you must ask at least a couple of questions to them. And what kind of questions you should be asking, that we are going to discuss. It shows your preparation, that you are prepared, you know everything about the job and about the company, and that is why you have some questions, because you are going to tie a knot with the company. It's like you are getting married with them. Okay, so when you get married, you of course ask the questions. Okay, you don't just go and get married with any random person, so you want to know everything about that. That is why they are conducting the interview, because they want to know everything about you. Now they are giving you this opportunity, the chance to know about the company, so they are giving you this chance to ask them the questions. So please ask the question. This also highlights your skills. While you ask the questions or while you respond, you can highlight your skills as well, and it will help you to sell yourself. So I'm going to tell you, this is a very important part, and I can tell you very few people will tell you that how to ask the questions and how to respond to the interviewer's questions or replies when they are giving you. So how it works? So first thing, you should ask at least 2 questions. Okay, so as I told you, you have to ask at least couple of questions. Each question should be asked purposefully. So when you are asking a questions, you know why you are asking this questions, because you are not going to ask a random question. So before you go to the interview, you will have a couple of questions ready with you, and you know why you are asking these questions, or you will at least anticipate the response of the interviewer. So most probably you know what is going to be the response of the interviewer to the questions that you are asking them. And then when you ask the questions, your job is not done. When you ask the questions, the interviewer is going to respond to your questions. Then again you need to reply to the interviewer's response. That's what it is called in strategic interviewing. So I'm going to give you an example that what questions you should be asking and how to respond to the interviewer's reply then. So the sample question is, let's say you are asking this question. So you're asking this question, as you have been working with this company for long, what did you really like about the company and its culture? Could you please share your experience? So now you are asking this question to the interviewer about their experience working with the company and its culture and why. So you are basically asking them what is the reason why they stayed so long in this company. So most probably what will be the interviewer's reply if you ask this question? The interviewer is most probably going to say good things about the company and its culture, because that is why he or she is staying so long in this company. So he or she is going to say probably that I really like the company's culture and its values, and the way company take care of the employees, the way company offer the learning opportunities and the growth opportunities to the employees, and that's the reason why I'm staying so long in this company. So I really like the company's culture and its values, and overall the way company work for the employees. So no interviewer is going to say negative about the company. So when interviewer is going to say good about the company, now once the interviewer is done, what you need to say, what you need to respond to the interviewer's reply is that, now before you respond, you have to do a couple of things. You should research the company, its culture and the employee welfare policies before you go to the interview. Then only this strategy is going to work. So, and firstly you should thank them for the replying to your questions. Of course you will be saying that thank you so much for your wonderful reply to my questions, and then you need to admit that whatever you have said is absolutely true about the company, as I have done the research about the company, its culture, and that is why I'm so interested to join your company, because this company is really good for the employees. So I think I can grow, I can learn, and I can contribute to your company. So this is the reason why I want to join this company. So when you ask a questions, the interviewer is going to reply, then this is going to be your response to the interviewer's reply. This is how you have to ask the questions. The same way you can prepare one more questions. Before creating your questions, please ask yourself that why you are asking these questions, and most probably what is going to be the interviewer's response, and if that is the interviewer's response, then how I am going to reply to the interviewer's response. This is how asking question is done in the interview. So I have said everything with you, how to crack a Python data visualization job interview, how to introduce yourself, how to find out the technical questions, how to find out the behavioral questions, and how to answer them as well, both technical and the behavioral questions, and how to ask them smart questions, and how to analyze the job description, and how to take help of the job description. So I want to wish you a good luck for your next interview. If you have any question for me, kindly let me know in the comment section, and we would love to answer and address your questions. Thank you so much.